Hi, this is Maggie Maslowski going through my Semester 1 LMS, Learning Management System. So this is my homepage. Have not added too much to the homepage. Have my feature builder on here and my password reset so I can add whatever I need to at any moment, which is pretty much the discussion boards and links. Okay, the notebook is in there, and I actually have started putting something in for English 2 Unit 1B, which I'll go over in a little bit, but basically there's instructions in there, the PDFs, so students can make comments and or notes about the story that they're actually going to be reading in Unit 2. The calendar's up there still. The summer reading that I've been doing in July is up there, including the links for students to have so they can go back to what was done during the summer. Summer reading is still done the same. Unit 1 resources are up there. These are the rubrics and the assignment sheets so students know what I expect of them. Unit 1A requirements, it has the Common Core State Standards, the essential questions, the formative assessments, as well as the summative assessments, and then the directions for what needs to get done. And a lot of the office mixes, the YouTube videos, the article links, the videos, the discussion board prompts are all linked in here so that they don't have to keep going back and forth. They can just see what they have to do on the page. Unit 1B, same thing, Common Core State Standards, the formative and the summative assessments, and then you have the links to what they have to do. I have a couple spaces in between because I may or may not tweak this. Still debating on that one. Unit 1 discussion board has the different discussions that we're going to be doing, and obviously they have to fill those out. Assignment submission, so all of Unit 1 can all be in one area. It can be split up. Then Unit 2, there's the compare contrast rubric. Still waiting to upload the group presentation rubric because that still needs to be revised. Unit 2A requirements. That is in here. You have the links to the summatives that they're going to do, and Unit 2B is also in there along with taking the final exam for the first semester. And then a discussion board. So far right now there's only one about the essential questions, and then the assignment submission that they'll put in. And then I have 3 and 4 already started, but obviously I still need to go through the rest of these. So for this module 9, my learning activity had to do with the Padlets. So let me go to my resource over here. So the first one was a Padlet that with positive perceptions, and I wanted to keep up some of the ones from last year because I'm going to tweak it, and I'm going to have them look at these and see how much it has changed from perceptions of who's a positive impact since last year, and then I'm going to have them add their own. So it's kind of like seeing how many things have changed in just that 1 year. Another formative assessment is The Handsomest Drawn Man in the World, one of the 3 fiction stories that the students have to read. I did a Quizlet, and actually did a couple Quizlets. So they have the link to the Quizlets right there. One of them is a bunch of the vocabulary words because Common Core State Standards wants you to update your knowledge of vocabulary, especially when it's evidence-based and text-based. So it's not just a bunch of random words, they're actually in the text. So here's that, and then they can do the space races, scatters, they can do flashcards, they can do all different types of things with that. For instance, the flashcards where all of the words are on there, so that's a way for them to formatively assess themselves. Then we might even have a race within the students in the class and see how that goes, and that might be a little competitive, but it might help engage them. So this was my second one. Then there's, going back to the OneNote, there's Handsomest Drawn Man in the World questions. So I want them to open those questions, and then I want them to save it to their own file. They have to obviously sign in, and then they're going to have the responses. And all these deal with different themes in the story, and then they have to write a summary with a thesis, which will help them when they have to write their compare-contrast paper later, which also has to have a thesis statement with it. So this is one of those activities where it's formative in their learning. about that. I also have a SASE text analysis, and this is also my learning activity, that one learning activity with the digital tool. So I decided to use a s'more, and I put the 4 parts of SASE, because it stands for summarize, analyze, synthesize, and evaluate. So not only do they have a description of what it is, but also some kind of photo or clip art that goes with it. So the 4 different parts. And then there's a video that goes with it off a very reputable website where they basically discuss reading and writing and content areas. So this video totally goes along with that, the summarize, assess, synthesize, and evaluate. And this is only a short video, it's about 3 minutes long, but she explains it, and students can rewatch it how many times they want to because they have access to this SASE. And then a bunch of words, so they don't have to always use the word summarize, analyze, synthesize. They can use some other words in their vocabulary that helps enrich their words. Now, I added to the bottom that I want them to summarize what they learned about the SASE concept in a developed sentence, so kind of like they're tweeting, 140 characters. And I would like them to use the hashtag JTLearn, which I would love the whole school to start using or continue using because some have, or they can just add it to mine. So JTHS Math is in Mislowski, so which I've been using for the past 2 years. So I want them to add a comment so that I can see, about 150 different ways that students can summarize their understanding of what a SASE is. So that'd be really creative to see. And with the s'more, I can get analytics. After 40 people visit the page, I can see how long someone has spent on it, how many people have gotten back to it, and then we can always share it out with any other ways. So I love s'mores when it comes to that part. And another thing that I was going to do with the students, so I did a little bit more than just 3 formative assessments, is another Padlet where they do their compare contrast. They're going to showcase their thesis statement as well as at least 3 quotes they're going to use from the story. And I did want them to see a few from last year just so that they have examples. And then we're going to do a whole new slate so each period has their own Padlet page and they can see what they're doing. And then the last part is that they're going to do a SASE by looking at New York Times Room for Debate. So bullying is a big topic during the Unit 2. It has the health integration. So here is an article, the main one did with online bullies, and then a few different perspectives from different articles. And the students can do that as well. And then when I go back to my learning space and I go back to home, if I choose to use my JTLearn period pages, then I go to English 2 on my main JTLearn, and then I have the period pages already set up so I can do different things with that. So for instance, period 2, I already labeled it English 2 period 2. I put the schedule grid, put the learning spaces in there, put the classwork so they can see their grades, put the password reset, and then any other documents. And I did that with all 5 of my periods. So I have that. And then I also have my period pages from the years prior so that I can kind of, from the year prior, so that I can kind of analyze, compare, and contrast what worked, what didn't work, and do that. And I have my link to our class EduBlog that we'll use, to our learning space, to the calendar, so it's all gridded together. The JTLearn tweets are up there so that, the last part of this summer reading that was done July 31st is up there. And then they have all the links in the Common Core, stuff like that. So hopefully students will be able to utilize it pretty effectively and efficiently. All the links coincide back and forth, so it'll be pretty good. Thank you.